but this is the Athens, Ohio Environment and Sustainability Commission. We are not quite at quorum yet, but we can probably at least proceed with introductions of the folks who are here. My name is Amy Delac. I'm the chair of the commission, and I will also start by acknowledging that I think most of us, though we're gathering virtually, are appearing from lands that were occupied for thousands of years by the Hopewell, Adena, and Shawnee cultures. I'm going to go around just in the order of the boxes that I see. Sarah?
Hey everybody, good afternoon, good evening, 6 o'clock. I'm Sarah Conley-Ballou. I am a commission member and I live in Athens County instead of the city, and I serve I work for Rural Action as our director of the Sustainable Energy Solutions.
Okay. Sam?
Hi, everybody. Sam Crowell, Athens City Council, 3rd Ward representative. And also, I'll agree with Sarah that it feels like the afternoon. I'm hot. I can hear the kids playing basketball in the driveway next door. Lawnmowers are going. So, yeah, happy afternoon. Thanks.
Jasmine?
Hello, I'm Jasmine Fakoon. I am also with Rural Action. I'm the Bailey's Trail System Program Assistant. And good to be here. Am I missing anything? Was that it? I feel like everybody else is like adding things. Yeah, it's hot. I got a little sunburn.
Ooh. Megan?
Hi, everyone. My name is Megan Almeida. I am a commission member, and I serve on the Zero Waste team at Rural Action.
Okay. Stefan?
Hi, Stefan Gleisberg. I'm a commission member. I'm also, among other things, on the board of the Athens Conservancy.
Great. Austin? Oh. Austin, it doesn't look like you're on mute, but we can't hear you. You might have the wrong device attached. Sometimes it defaults to a different device. Elaine is connecting. Why don't we, Lauren, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself while Elaine and Austin are connecting?
Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren Connor, and I'm a senior urban planning student at Ohio University, and I'm also the planning intern for the city of Athens and volunteered to take the minutes for this meeting.
Awesome. Elaine?
Oh, I'm not muted. Okay, I'm Elaine Getz. What am I supposed to be saying?
Just an introduction. I don't know if anyone's on the line from the outside world, but
okay.
Introducing ourselves in case.
I'm a representative on the commission, and I'm also the Director of Energy Management and Sustainability at Ohio University.
Okay. Austin? Try again. Still not hearing you.
He disappeared too.
As I say, I'm not seeing him now either. Maybe he is trying to fix that. Okay. So we do at this point have quorum, even if Austin doesn't jump back. I want to also say thank you to Scott Thompson and the government channel who are running us from the technical end tonight. And let's go ahead and call the meeting to order. First would be disposition of the minutes from the March 3rd meeting. Has everyone had a chance to look at those? Does anyone have any additions or changes? Can I get a motion to accept?
I move to accept.
Okay. Second? All right, Sam, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. All right, there's Austin. Speak, Austin. Yay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Go ahead and give yourself a quick introduction.
I'm Austin Babrow. I'm a member of the commission, and I'm a retired OU professor. I used to teach environmental communication, among other things.
Great, thanks. Austin, while you were off, we did the minutes. Did you have any changes to the minutes?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Okay,
Did not.
great, thanks. Okay, so moving on to the agenda, it looks like our next meeting date is May 5th. Does anyone have issues with that? I didn't look at my calendar, actually. I think that's probably fine. It's not like I'm doing any travel.
Nobody's doing the margarita thing.
We can do that at 7 p.m., right?
Wait. Fill me in.
It's Cinco de Mayo.
Well,
Oh,
de Mayo.
yes. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so May 5th, 6 p.m., same bat time, same bat station. So then we'll move ahead to old business, which starts with backyard chickens. And Sarah and Megan, I think, do you want to go ahead and share your screen? And then there's also a link that they provided. If the screen sharing doesn't work, you can go ahead and click on that link.
Yeah, thanks. I will attempt to share my screen if I can, or if I lose connectivity because I'm operating out of my house. I'm sure Meg and Jasmine can pick up the stuff. So here we go. And okay. Apologize here. It's moving slow. If you are able to open the link and see it on your own screen, that is also a good decision. Mine is moving slow. Maybe this could be someone else's responsibility because I don't want to hold us up with that. I'm going to stop sharing. Jasmine, are you able to do that from your internet connection?
And Sarah,
Or Meg?
where's the link? Was it sent via email or?
Yes, in the chat.
It's in the chat. Though, because you joined late, you might not have seen it. Sometimes that happens. Let me just re-share here.
Let me try to share my screen because it looks like I've got it up and I think my connectivity is good. Of course, I have to figure out which screen it is. Are you seeing that?
All right, perfect. Yes.
Thank you.
Yep.
So I'll kick it off, but the three of us commission members, Megan and Jasmine and I, have all put effort into this. So by all means, ladies, share as you see fit. Based on the discussions that have happened here at the commission and as our subcommittee has met, we've felt that one of the most effective next steps for this project was to just learn more about our community's interest and need. And so our goal here is to ask the commission's input on a community survey. We anticipate that this would be shared through mainly digital social media outlets. That could be something that, if other ideas come up, please share them. But largely this is a non-scientific kind of straw poll style survey. Hopefully we'll gain input from, a large group of people. I think the more that it gets shared by various people and through different groups, the more reach we'll get. So that's definitely a goal. But I think for the purposes of the meeting today, we were hoping to review it together. And if anybody has any input on what's currently there, if you want to change anything, by all means, share that. If you think there's something that we need to add in addition to what's here, please share that as well. So Amy, if you could scroll,
yeah.
You'll see we have a really basic intro to say, this is just on behalf of the commission. We're soliciting input. It's anonymous unless you want to put your email in. So there's that input there, or information at the top. We want to know whether folks are city residents or not. If someone fills it out and they're not a resident, I think it's still valuable. We'll just look at it a little differently. We also felt as though it was important to find out whether this survey is being filled out by an owner or a renter. That might also influence their their responses and give us an idea of, who in this community is one or the other. We thought we'd also get some more demographic info of how old they are and their average annual household income. Again, kind of doing ballpark there. And then kind of digging into questions about their overall understanding of chicken ownership, whether they have any experience as a chicken owner. I liked this question. Jasmine threw this one in here about whether backyard chickens, if they see backyard chickens as a way to alleviate food security or insecurity issues in the city. And, we really want these answers. Obviously, open-ended questions are harder to compare responses. So a lot of these are multiple choice, but there are some areas at the end where there's some short answer responses. So we're curious what people thought about the number of chickens that they thought would be appropriate. So, based on this reasonable sort of estimate of how many hens you can fit in a small coop, how many eggs they lay a day, what do you think is a reasonable number of chickens to have area? We also wanted people to give us feedback on whether a permitting fee was something that they had an appetite for, or if that was very much a, reason not to support this in any one way. We're interested in whether the respondent themselves has interest in owning backyard chickens, whether or not anyone else in the community can do it. Are they, in fact, interested? And then the question of whether they've seen backyard chickens in other communities. We seem to think that could give us an idea of, how people are viewing this, whether they've been in communities that have had chickens in the past, because sometimes that influences their decision. Couple open-ended questions, whether they've had any experiences with chickens, because some have, strong opinions one way or another. We want to give an opportunity for people to share that. And then curious about people's knowledge about Athens' current code of ordinances around backyard chickens. And if you recall, we looked at that a few months back. It prohibits a chicken enclosure within 100 feet of a lot line. So that is, the main point in the ordinance that challenges sort of backyard chicken use in the area. So that's kind of what we're calling out there. But we also just kind of wanted generally some feedback, whether people knew much about chicken, the ordinances. Beyond that, additional concerns or comments, just give people more space to share. And then we thought it might be useful, given that some people might really be passionate about this topic and want to engage on this, with us, if they would like to participate in, future conversations about it, that would give them an opportunity to provide their email address, but it's optional. And that's the whole survey. So I'll shut up and let anybody else who wants to share speak to your thoughts on this.
So one thing I might suggest that we add is that, a statement either at the top or in the question about the number, that we're not contemplating allowing roosters, that this is just hens and this is egg chickens, not meat chickens.
Good suggestion.
Looking at it too, Sarah, I'm wondering if we should move up the multiple choice questions so that they're with the other ones and keep all of the open-ended ones at the end, maybe.
Okay.
I think Austin's got his hand up.
Yeah, I've never used the hand up feature before. Boy, this is a big day for me. I just wanted to suggest that you start with questions that are going to be interesting to people that are interested in chickens. So start with the question, I would start with the question, do you have any experience with backyard chickens? And then ask all the substantive questions, and then ask the demographic stuff toward the very end. Both because you want to involve people. They're not going to find it very interesting to tell you their age and their income and that sort of thing. And also, if if they, you want to put your important questions that you want them to answer early on, because if they drop out, they'll hopefully at least answer those questions. And then just finally, like income is for a lot of, even in anonymous surveys, people don't like answering that. So
maybe you prefer not to say option there.
Yeah, you could add a prefer not to say on both age and income. I think you don't want that option on the city resident question. I don't know on the own or rent question.
Yeah, on the city resident question, before I forget, I was thinking that maybe we could word that to be a little bit more clear, because somebody might go, well, I'm not a city of Athens resident, but I'm a county resident, so that's good enough, and check it. So maybe like, do you reside within Athens city limits? Like, make it really clear that that's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Okay. And I also was wondering about the word experience. If maybe in the question, do you have any experience with backyard chickens in other communities? I think that's maybe slightly confusing, the word experience. Does that mean, did you own chickens in other communities, or have you known about backyard chickens in other communities? Or like, what exactly does that mean? Or do you want all of the above?
Yeah. There is a separate question of, do you have experience with chicken ownership? Maybe we want to put those two together of, do you have other experience with chickens in your community? So that it kind of follows.
Or have you lived somewhere where backyard chickens were? We have that somewhere.
Yeah. I guess I was wondering if I was answering it. Like I haven't lived. Well, maybe I've lived somewhere where they've had backyard chickens, but like I've known people who lived in other communities with backyard chickens and known it worked out. Like, is that the type of answer you're looking for? Or are you more looking for, have you yourself owned chickens in a different community? Or anyway, I guess I was trying to fill it out while we were going through it and thinking.
That's a good point.
I'm not exactly sure what I would answer.
Yeah.
You might.
That's a good.
Phrase that.
I'll note it.
Do you have experience based on your own or others' experience with backyard chickens in other communities, so that it could be both first or second hand?
Or parse it into two questions. Like, do you have firsthand experience owning or with backyard chickens? And then have you lived in a community that allowed I don't know. Like, if we want to know each of those things, I think.
Yeah. I do think we want to keep that one open-ended, though. We don't want it to be the, do you have experience question? Because I think that's a place where, yes, my neighbor had them when I lived in Arlington, Virginia, and they smelled, so I'm opposed to them or something.
But we do have an open-ended section where people can share those sorts of things, right?
Oh yeah, that's true. Positive or negative.
We just need to go through it again, Sarah and Megan, and make sure that that all the questions are necessary, nothing's redundant, and that they're asking exactly what we're looking for.
You could also just ask something like, consider your experience with backyard chickens. Have you ever owned your own chickens? Have your neighbors owned chickens? And then other.
Oh, yeah. Give options.
And then you could do just sort of one free response, probably.
Mm-hmm. I have a question for the commission, too. There was originally a question in here trying to tie this to the composting program to ask if there was interest, or because I feel like there's an overlap there, but the question was awkward and it felt a little bit out of place. And I didn't know if you guys had, I don't know, if you think that something should be included, or if you have suggestions about how to ask a question about that. I don't even remember what the question was, Sarah. It was something like, would you be interested, or are you currently a member of the composting program? Would you be interested or be more likely to enroll in it if you had chickens? Am I frozen?
No, you're not frozen. I'm just
someone else is. So it might be me.
I think you'd have to explicitly make that connection about chicken litter is compostable. statement.
Okay.
I think you would have to tie it together.
So if we also we're looking at the length and we didn't want to make it too long. So, but maybe if we did go back and take some of the other questions out and combine them, we could figure out a way to tie that. Cause I do think that like just foreseeing what people are going to have an issue with, I think that like smell will be an issue. And the waste and how do you deal with the waste? And if they haven't put it together themselves that, hey, we have this composting program, then that could be a way to sort of connect those two pieces.
And we definitely don't allow chicken waste in our composting.
What's that?
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Like, I don't think you can put animal waste in the current compost.
Oh, that's good.
I'm not sure. Well, somebody told me that because we used to have guinea pigs, and somebody told me that their waste was compostable, but I don't think I ever actually composted it.
I compost our chicken waste, and people use it in gardens all the time. I just don't know if like the city allows.
Well, did you want people to compost in their backyard the chicken waste, or did you want them to put it into the buckets for the curbside compost program?
I was thinking that they could tie it to the curbside program, but I don't know if that's something that, that might have to be like a new consideration for the composting program. Maybe Sam could weigh in on that.
Yeah, our current Athens Hot King Recycling says do not include animal waste.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So maybe we should.
And I was just going to say that they're definitely focused on, canines and, they weren't thinking about chickens when they.
Right.
But still, we don't want to confuse the public.
Yeah. I would maybe leave out the compost question for now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Should I stop sharing that? Then I'll be able to see you all better.
Yeah. Any other final thoughts I guess any other final thoughts folks might have, feel free to send email to myself, Jasmine, or Megan, and we'll make sure to incorporate it. And I guess the next question before we move off this topic, because I know we have other things to cover, is the commission comfortable with this being posted to neighborhood associations and community organizations in the area? And if not, do we want to put that on the agenda for next month to talk about how we disseminate this? Or, are there any concerns that we need to discuss as a group before this goes out into our community?
Yeah. And right now at the top of that survey, it does say it does have the commission's name on it. So we also need, is that okay? Do we need to make a motion? I don't know. How does this stuff work?
I guess it probably couldn't hurt to do a motion. I think it's fine to disseminate it. It's just we're gathering information, right? We're not even taking a policy position. But I think it probably, at least the formality of having the commission, give the blessing on posting it. So somebody want to, off the top of their head, make a motion?
Well, should we make a motion next month, though, or when it's final, or should we do it now before it's final? I guess it doesn't really matter either way. I
just probably want to see it again before it goes out, I would guess. So maybe we should work on it one more month.
Okay. All right. So maybe we can put that on the agenda for next month to make sure that we finalize and do the motion.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Next order of business is Earth Day 2021. It is now Earth Month. Yay. Sam or Elaine, do one of you want to talk a bit about the stuff going on?
I'll give the commission a heads up on some of the things that we'll be doing. As you all know, the wonderful website that I believe Sarah and her team at Rural Action originally created, the Weebly site for Athens, Ohio Earth Day Every Day, is the site that we still use to try to include as much information from around the county. And once you get into that site, you'll see that we've included information from all around the globe. But we really try to focus, especially in non-pandemic years, obviously, on local events and how people can be engaged locally. It's a very different world now. Obviously, this is the second year that we've done this virtually. And so we filled up the entire month of April on the calendar on that site. And I can throw it in the chat here in a second, with all kinds of ways to think about Earth Day every day in April. And, lots of ways
put
to
it
get
in there for you, Sam. Sorry.
Thank you, Elaine.
Yeah.
And lots of ways to get engaged. So we're pushing out that content daily on our social media and in Ohio University articles and through the city of Athens too. We are gearing up obviously for Earth. It's this gradual kind of, okay, we're in Earth Month, great. And then on the 19th, we'll be in Earth Week. And be kicking that off with the Sustainable Infrastructure Hub seminar on Monday at 5 o'clock. Then the big day, we will be announcing our Sustainability Award winners. Actually, President Nellis will be recording a video, and that will be released on our social media at noon on Thursday, the 22nd. I'll just note for this commission that we had unbelievable nominations this year. I mean, I was just so impressed, and the hardest category was the community category. The community really came out strong this year, and we had nominations from all different kinds of local people and local organizations. And it was tough. I mean, let me just say that the committee that voted, really supported a lot of the different nominees that were on that. And so we'll find out on April 22nd how that all came out. The other thing we'll be announcing on April 22nd which is also an item on the agenda tonight, is B Campus USA and B City USA. I have got everything into the application materials. The committee, we've got permission, as you all know, this committee is the official B Campus USA committee. And so I included the resolution again last night, just one last time, so that everybody understands sort of what we are tasked with over the next about 18 months. The City of Athens renewal for B City USA will be in February of 2022? No. I'll have to go back and look at that for some. I think it might be February of 2023. Yeah. So we have almost 2 years, about 18 months in order to do some of the things that the program requires. Now, one of the differences, but because we can build upon each other, is that the Ohio University has already approved an IPM plan. The City of Athens has a number of IPM principles and very specific language in our wellhead protection ordinance, but that doesn't apply to the entire city. So one thing that the committee will be doing will be working with the city to have a formal IPM plan. Now, we certainly can take a look at the OU plan and kind of find things that work well for the city as well and kind of work as a base document from that. But that will be something that we should work into our committee work over the next year. And then that's really the only requirement. As I dug into the B City initiative, I realized that is, they definitely obviously want to focus on pollinators too, but they feel the IPM plan is the main thing that really supports pollinators in our communities. So their biggest requirement is institutionalizing a landscape and a pest management plan. Then we have, we will have some educational events, and we can definitely partner with the university on doing those together. I think the neatest thing about this is the city and the university doing it together and kind of having the whole local area be friendly. Ed Newman does not seem to have been able to join us tonight, but he is one member of this commission who I also asked to serve on the OU committee due to his prior work with the university as well as being a beekeeper. So Ed is on both, and hopefully that will also help us, and I am on both, will also help us kind of do that work in conjunction with the city. So just so everybody here knows, the city requires an official department to be the sponsoring agent for B-City USA, and that is Arts, Parks, and Recreation. Terry Moore has agreed to be the official liaison, and I'm not sure exactly how B-City USA uses that liaison. Everything will come through our committee, I believe. Amy agreed for me to put her information as chair of this commission in the materials, and I'm assuming they would contact Amy or me. My information is also in there before they contacted Terry Moore, but maybe they'll contact Terry. We'll see. They will have all of that information, and also Mayor Patterson. His information is in there too. So we'll just have to see how they engage. I was able to have a nice discussion with Gary Gooseman, the mayor of Amesville. They are the only sort of Southeast Ohio I guess they're a bee village, USA, but they're the only local, and he sent me their materials, and we had a nice conversation. And so I think we're ready to go with that, and that'll be a nice announcement. And at the same time, the mayor is going to do an annual Earth Day proclamation, and he's going to work the B-City USA announcement into that. And I thought at the same time we can do an official sort of public announcement of the new biodiversity section of the sustainability plan. So it's a good way to market a lot of the work of the commission and get people to be thinking about these things in the community. I think that sort of wraps up. Elaine, am I missing anything Earth Day wise?
You know, it's funny, as I was listening to, I realized this is something that we haven't, the city is making an announcement of, big things happening, but the university, I don't know if we are announcing that the Sustainability and Climate Action Plan, the revision, which we worked on for like 5 years, is going to the Board of Trustees on this Friday. And also, Sam, this afternoon, procurement and legal and everybody finally approved the issue of the on-site renewables RFP. So we also will be issuing a request for proposals for on-site renewables for the university on Friday. So Friday is actually kind of a big Earth Day for us. But I don't think we have any sort of announcement of either of those.
So, Elaine, you and I should definitely work on that because I'm working many things into an Earth Day article and press release with Jim Sabin and the Climate Action Plan, because it's the Sustainability and Climate Action Plan, because it wasn't 100% approved yet. I didn't know how to.
Right.
I also didn't know about the new rec. It's good to hear about the new 100% recs as being official, because I didn't want to talk about that either. Jim Sabin and I are also working on a separate B Campus USA press release. So the university is doing some of these, but you're right, we can do more, especially regarding the plan. You and I can work on that from the Office of Sustainability standpoint. I thought of something else. We were approached by an organization called the Film Collective, which is a bit like our local, and tonight is one of the sustainability. We'll try to get wrapped up by 7 if anybody wants to talk about Motherload, which is I'm sure Amy and Rob will be all over that. What a fascinating, story. And I'm ready for a cargo bike, yesterday. And anyway, the Film Collective offers Earth Day films for free. They got a grant to spread this across the United States, at least. And I contacted them and I've been working with them. And the Athena is helping us to offer these 3 short films the week after Earth Day. So at the end, Monday the 26th will be the first offering, just like the Sustainability Film Series does it, offering these 3 short films for viewing. And then on Wednesday at 7 o'clock, one of the directors, Susan Rockefeller, of one of the films is going to join us on a panel to chat about the film and answer questions, etc. We've also gotten permission to market this to all schools, in all higher education schools in Ohio. So we're working with our partners in the Ohio Sustainability Group to offer this to their students. So we're hoping that there's a little bit more of a diverse, at least geographically, group that is discussing things on Wednesday the 28th. So I think that wraps it up.
Yes, thank you, Sam, for getting both birthday and obesity all in one update. So that's cool. Very efficient.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, just to add, so the sustainability film that's this week is Motherload, and it is a fascinating take on the evolution of cargo bikes, specifically from the perspective of women who use them to tote their kids around. And it's a great film. If you go to athenacinema.org, I think, you can get a link to watch that film for free through today at 7 p.m. So we're going to wrap up right at the top of the hour here. There was a panel discussion via Zoom. Again, you can get that link through the Athena Cinema as well. And the director of the film will be on that discussion, as well as the president of the Athens Bicycle Club. So yeah, join us on another Zoom channel moments from now, if you can.
Really quick.
Yes.
Can I just make a comment? I was speaking with someone recently. I was dropping off eggs, and she was in town, and she asked about chickens in town, and we got to talking. I said, actually, that might happen. We'll see what happens. It's being discussed. And then she said, what have they done about lawns in town? Because I was cited several years ago because I had a pollinator garden in my front yard, and the city came after me for my grass being too long. And I said, actually, now that you mention it, like, we are also addressing that. We've got this biodiversity plan, and bees are on the docket, and so we are making progress.
Yeah, so, great. Yeah, we've already changed that officially in city ordinance, right?
Yeah, I thought so. I said you should be good. I don't think anyone's going to come after you for your flowers now.
Yeah. Just FYI, Amy, it's not official. It hasn't been officially.
Oh, okay.
Chris Fall's done some great work on that, but she kind of tabled it in December to do a few other things, and we're going to get what I've asked her about it. And yes, that will become hopefully officially the law.
Yeah. Great. And is there any word on getting the biodiversity plan onto the city council's docket for approval? That we sort of passed it up last month, but if I don't know if it was officially passed up. We sort of voted to pass it up, but I don't know if that actually even happened. And I don't actually know what the process is for having that happen.
I'm sorry we don't have Paul here today. He would be more in tune to how that works, but I'll check with him separately. And find out, and we'll do that if it has to be done.
Thanks. And the one more piece of old business that I pulled off the previous minutes, that's also you, Sam, is the Clean Energy and Sustainable Communities Toolkit. That was something I think that had been on the agenda last month. It got bumped because of the river discussion that we had that went a little long. Did you have anything on that for this month?
I dropped the ball for 2 straight months on that one.
Okay.
I haven't looked at it again, so if there are things in that toolkit that people are excited about, let me know, and I'll try to focus on that.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it either.
Can I actually take the opportunity? I was not there last month, so I don't know anything about that toolkit, and I can't comment on that, but this is relevant to our commission, and I forgot to put it on the agenda. The City of Athens is part of the Power for a Clean Future Coalition, which is a statewide network of small and medium-sized communities who support the platform that Power for a Clean Future has put forward. I won't go into the details of that. But we, as a city, I guess, have elected to participate in their equity coaching program, which will be a 4-hour coaching session that city employees and representatives from commission and councils, commissions and city council will all elect to send a person to. So I guess I'm giving us a heads up, because I think by next month, Andrew Cheeky and the mayor and others, and maybe Paul will know more about this too, coming. But the really exciting thing that I think is super relevant to our group, by participating in the equity coaching program, we also, as a city, get a greenhouse gas analysis done by a professional consulting group. They're called Unpredictable City, and it's a group that has been doing GHG emissions analyses for some time through the Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Council. So all it is to say, I don't have any more detail, but I wanted to just put it on the radar screen because I personally was very excited to hear, especially because, we are trying to track our GHG. And I know, Elaine, you've done an excellent job of that, and obviously are focused on the university's piece of that quite heavily. this will give us a good basis for comparison and another, analysis done maybe using a little bit more of a robust metric system than the city has used before. So it's pretty cool and exciting.
Sarah, is there a limit to how many people can participate in that equity coaching?
I believe they are appointing 8 people to the equity coaching. And so between Andrew and Mayor Patterson, they're going to determine who they're going to, or how they're going. I guess they want appointees from commissions and council, and they haven't really determined their process yet. So short answer, I don't know yet.
I would certainly be happy to be one of those people, although if there's anybody else on the commission, that's great too. Just speak up. It seems like it would be a reasonable thing to have the Sustainability Commission be one of the people that gets this, especially since there's an energy and greenhouse gas focus. But if there's a lot of folks from other commissions and city council and such, and we're at our 8 limit, that's the way it goes, I guess.
And Sarah, I think that's wonderful if somebody else wants to do a greenhouse gas emissions inventory. Maybe that will actually help us get the data that we haven't gotten, because the reason we don't have a greenhouse gas emissions inventory is because we don't have the data for it yet. And we've had that data, for years now. And so, I guess I'm not all that hopeful that they'll be able to do a great greenhouse gas emissions inventory unless they can get that data. But if they can get that data, then we can get the data too, which would really if they're successful, they might be able to, develop a protocol that will help us in the future, like exactly what magic words to say and when. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Anything else on those business pieces? The one other piece of new business on the agenda is that we have 2 fantastic self-nominations for the student appointee to the committee. So we have Caitlin Roush, who's an undergraduate, I believe, in education, graduating in 2023. She looks like, at least from her what she said about her high school career, she sounds amazing. And then Megan Westervelt, who is an MFA candidate and has already done a short film on birding that Sam sent around just shortly ago. I would be hard pressed actually to choose between these 2 folks. And I looked at the commission, and we really only do have 1 vacant opening right now. So I don't know, does anybody else have any guidance or opinions?
I think it was Sam's. Was that your suggestion, Sam, to use one and then the other?
It seems to me, Caitlin is fantastic. She's young and she we've been trying to get Res Hall composting going for years and years and years, and she may have single-handedly got it going as a pilot program in a single Res Hall, which is just fantastic. She's a real go-getter, and she'd be terrific. As you said, Amy, either one of these I think would be fantastic. Thinking about maybe having the ability to have them both, if we went with Megan for a year, and then Caitlin still has her junior and senior year, so we could have maybe the more experienced graduate student for a year, and be upfront with Caitlin about how much we think that she's great, and that if we can ask her maybe to join us her junior year, then we would be kind of set for a while. And I think both, as you said, Amy, I think either one would be really fantastic.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan. And if Megan is fine, so is Megan graduate in 2022? Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I think that makes sense to have sort of, I guess it's a 2-year term technically, but to have them each serve for a year. So from now till 2023 would be covered. I think that's great. If maybe what we should do is Sam, if you could go back to both of those students and see if that's okay with them. And if so, we should definitely make sure that they get an invite from Scott at the Government Center to participate next time, and we can invite them on and vote them on that way. That makes sense?
I have a question, Sam. Do you know if Megan is planning to stay in the area after she graduates, or is she?
I do not know, Elaine. She's been a great and engaged climate and sustainability ambassador, but I'm not sure I've had an in-depth conversation with her. You know, I never see these people anymore.
That's true.
She might want to go back to Ecuador at some point. I hate to like tell people that they can't get involved with sustainability. Is there a place for others to support this commission without being on the commission?
Yeah, and the commission is open to the public, and I got my start on the commission by just attending meetings, and then as a community member, and then suddenly there was an opening, and they're like, "She's sitting right here." So
anyway, we're gonna hire. Yeah.
So I think we should definitely, if we go this route of having sort of Caitlin for a year and then. Or Megan for a year and then Caitlin for the next year, I think we should definitely invite Caitlin to start coming to all of the meetings that she can.
She could totally still be very much involved without having to have her name, on the commission. And OU, I think, has a sustainability club, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The sustainability and climate ambassadors and both of Caitlin and
they're both on it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Just I am realizing that there are 11 panelists and at the moment 0 attendees. So there are no members of the public that are watching this right now. No, because it is filmed, and you might find yourself at Little Fish and see it suddenly broadcast on the screen, which happened to me once. So Sam, if you would go back maybe and check with both of them and see if that plan works for them, then maybe we can take the official vote for the appointment at the next meeting. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay, great. All right. Does anyone else have any other business? That's all I have on my agenda, except for Wayne National Forest Plan. I think I mentioned last month that they are not moving forward at this time with a new forest plan. So we can actually probably drop that off of our regular agenda as an item. And then federal update, that was just sort of a policy level update that I gave the last couple of months of the new administration. There's nothing else. There hasn't been another big executive order or anything like that in the past month. So I'll continue to monitor the federal landscape. So maybe we keep that going. It'll be interesting to see what's going to be in the infrastructure bill, whether that passes and how that affects climate and sustainability, but that's way down the line as far as having any sort of concrete update. So does anyone?
Yeah, I have one. Bailey's Trail System reopens to cyclists next Thursday.
The 15th.
15th, I think that's
not that we're counting the days or anything.
Although my bike, the 14th.
My bike's out of commission, unfortunately, so it'll be a little bit longer for me.
Yeah, so get out there and ride your bikes or hike. It's still open to foot traffic too, but if you're going to go out there after the 15th, watch for bikes.
Yeah, there is a work day this Saturday at 10, and we are always looking for more people to join in those work days. So email me if you're interested in that. I think they're meeting right up at the Chansey Park and then dispersing from there starting at 10. I think last time I mentioned the recycle program where we're getting used bikes to people in Chansey. We have had a phenomenal outpouring of additional bike donations. There are literally 30 bikes in my garage right now. So we've also put together a grant proposal to get some more money to get those fixed up because we want them to be in good working order when they go out to members of the community. So we haven't heard anything about that yet. So that's our main, funding to get the bikes in working order is our main sticking point at this point.
Do you need parts or tools for the bikes? Is that on the list?
So what we've been doing so far is working with CyclePath, which is a locally owned, long-standing bike shop business here in Athens. And what we did with the first round is we delivered all of those bikes to them, and they did a professional safety check, cleaning, and repairs on those. And they, provided the parts, and then we were just billed for that. So And I'm not sure, like, if you have, we'd have to know based on the safety check what parts were needed and stuff. So I'm not sure that we can just say like we need bike parts, because it's often probably specific items that might be needed.
Yeah, super cool program though. It's putting bikes in the hands of people that probably otherwise would not have had access to them. So yeah, keep it up. Thank you guys. Thanks for housing all those bikes.
Yeah. The funny thing is we were like thinking about buying a tandem used now, and there's no room in our garage for it. So
on a tandem. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Anything else anybody's got? All right. In that case, I'll let you guys go and get a little something to eat before we see you on the Mother Load panel discussion, hopefully. And like I said, I think you have to go to the Athena website, Athena Cinema website. You can register for it. You can participate in the panel, listen in on the panel without having seen the movie, if you'd like to hear the director's perspective. And then you can watch the movie for free through this evening at the end of the day.
I'm going to put the link in the chat real quick. I can't attend, but if anybody else can, there it is.
Yeah, awesome.
I think
it is .com, not .org. Okay, cool.
Is it too late to register to see it?
No, I think if you go ahead and register, you'll get the links both to watch the movie, which is like a Vimeo, like a private Vimeo link. Okay. And then there's also a link to get into the chat. So I would, if you're not interested in watching the chat, I think you can just, the panel, you could just start watching the movie whenever. But I think I think tonight at midnight is the cutoff for watching.
Oh, okay. The movie. Thanks.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Hearing no other business, can we get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
All right. Sounds like Sarah and Austin. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Happy Earth Month, everybody.